Hey, this is Dave. I am recording this kind of on a whim. And I got a really shaky camera, so hopefully that's not something that's super annoying. We'll see. I'm recording this kind of on a whim because today is October 31st. I just spent 31 days drawing for Inktober. This is the first year that I really got it done really well. And I kind of just wanted to make one recap video that shows all of the drawings and all of the sketches I did in this particular sketchbook for this whole month. Because I drew a lot this month. I started a really good routine at the end of September, and I've stuck really true to it, and that's really good. So I got my coffee to keep me fueled up. I just finished mowing, and I had a whole day of school before then, so forgive me if my talking isn't as proficient as normal because I've talked a lot today. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. This is my sketchbook that I chose. I bought this specifically for Inktober. I knew it had plenty of pages for that, although I didn't think about this, but I ended up using both sides of most of the pages, so I'm not even close to finished with this, even though, theoretically I would have done 30 of the 50 pages, but I think it ended up being close to 20. So no problem there. But I started with this in September where I did a few sketches. I'll just quickly flip through these. Some of them are upside down. This was me mostly just warming up to the idea of kind of drawing on a daily basis, trying to get that habit in. You can see this one was done on the 20th of September, but I colored it much later, so I left a little note for myself there. I like this drawing. I think it's really nice. This sketchbook, this is a little picture of Ren, where I almost misspelled her name down here, which is a silly thing to do, considering that we chose the spelling of that name specifically to be a little bit different, and then I made the mistake of not doing that. Whatever. There's a bunch of stuff in here. I don't think I need to go through these pages quite as much. These are all from September. There's some life studies. There's some, figure drawings. There's some life studies. There's some environment studies. A lot of figure drawings because that's kind of what I wanted to get back in the habit of doing. So trying to do some of those. These are all, once again, at the end of September. This one was just kind of a weird fake Saitama with some hair. I don't know, kind of a weird thing, but this is probably the last, this is the last batch of figure drawings. There's some in here that I don't really like. There's some in here that I do, but that's not really what we're here to talk about. And then this kind of brings us to the first pages in October. I did this page in October, but Ren kind of sketched on it, so there's some things in there. But this is the back of the auditorium at church, and I kind of did that from looking at things. So this brings us to our first Inktober drawing, which this is, the word for this is dream, and I did this first thing in the morning. This looked a little different. The version that I posted looked a little different because I wasn't sure if I was going to do the background dark, but I talked to my brother, Nate, about it, and we thought, what the heck, I probably should just try it. So this is Decker from Blade Runner, because the other name for that story is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? So I felt like it kind of went with the prompt. I really like this one. I think that the folds on his arm came out really nice. I think that the pose is pretty cool, and it kind of tells a nice story. And I think that the typography is cool. So I really like this one. I think it came out good. I think it does look better with the background. It looks like it's raining, which is just intrinsically important in this story. So that's going to bring us to day 2. This is I was doing a lot of things sideways at the time, but I switched from that because it's kind of annoying. This one is one of my least favorites, spider. I didn't just want to do a spider, although I ended up just kind of doing a spider anyway. I have a bunch of sketches in a different sketchbook that I did that kind of warmed me up and got me used to drawing certain parts of a spider, and then I had done some similar things. This design is actually from a game that I've been working on, a board game that I've been working on with Cavern Wire. And I just don't think this drawing came out very good. I think there's a lot about it that is cool. Namely, I think this tiny little spider's pretty cool. I think the background's okay, but just all in all, not super thrilled. But that's okay. It was the second day. And then from here, I think we can kind of generally keep it as a spread view. This is bringing us to some of the first colored sketches. So day 3, October 3rd, was Path. I did this really small one based on a picture I took from the national parks, the metro parks near me. There's some stuff in here that's colored markers. I don't think I have one in this room. I have them in the other room, but that's okay. Some of this is just colored markers. Some of it is Micron. Some of it is brush pen. Some of it is just blue. What are these called? Pigmacolor or whatever. Isn't that right? I don't know. These things. Colorase. Yeah, Pigmacolor Colorase pencils. So these are really cool. If you've never tried them, they're just blue pencils that you can erase. But the erasers run out really quick, and then other erasers don't really work very well in these. So I have a bunch of them, and I'm kind of just working my way through them. I probably won't buy any more because I kind of just like sketching in regular pencil. It's easier to erase and stuff. But that's cool. And then this one is one of my favorites that I did. There's some, I know it's sideways, but the word was dodge. And later on, I ended up doing a dodgeball picture, which I think is kind of funny that I didn't do it here. But this is actually supposed to be a picture of a parry from Street Fighter Third Strike, which might be my favorite fighting game of all time. I haven't played a lot of them, but it definitely is right now, standing as it is standing. But I just think this is such a cool animation. The framing is kind of weird. I don't know why Ken's so low and Ryu's so high, but I just like the poses. I like the folds. I like Ken's hand. I like his face. And I like these characters. They're very cool. And I think there's some sketches and stuff that appear of them later. So that's all cool. Let's keep going. Oh, here's another sideways one. So day 5 was Map. This one I don't really like, but a lot of people had some good comments about it. So you can see what I mean. You can kind of see like here and here, this blue that's coming through is this pencil again, which I don't know. I feel like it kind of ruins it a little bit for me, but it just is what it is. I just don't like that I can't really erase it. It like stains the paper or something. I don't know. But the things I do like about this is I feel like this really does feel like it's casting light on his face. There's definitely places like around here. The back of his hand probably should be darker, and like this side of his arm should be darker. But I just think it's cool the way that like this side, this all feels like there's a direct light, a very strong focal point of light on his face. So just feels like that worked out pretty well. And I like the way that the paper shows up over top. And I like that this is mostly black and white because I don't stick to that throughout like the whole book. I don't only do black and white. So it's cool to have some that are. And then day 6 was Golden. And it took me a really long time to come up with this idea. But I based this, well, this is Isaac from Golden Sun. This is a game that I really, really love and I would love to be playing right now, but I cannot find my Game Boy Advance. So it's just forever halfway completed. So it kind of sucks, but it's just a really cool game. It's a really cool JRPG from the Game Boy Advance era that it's not really lost to time. It's just like I wish that it was getting like more updates and stuff, or like an updated version on like the Switch and stuff. I mean, it's on the Switch now, but you know, video game stuff. But it's a cool drawing. This is a weird drawing in the background. Like he has this sort of ethereal hand magic that he can use. I don't know that he can like, I know he can grab with it, but I don't know that like it would just be like floating behind him, but it's okay. I think it's still cool. All right, now we move on. This is another one of my favorites. I might just let this one kind of have the spotlight for a second. This one is, day 7 was Drip, and Drip is, the reason why I think this one came to me is because, well, I know why. This is supposed to be Blight Town from Dark Souls, and just all I can think about when I think of Drip is just that sound that you hear while you're in Blight Town, and the horrendous experience of playing that level is. But but it's just a cool place. This isn't like perfect or anything. I didn't use reference. I just kind of used what I remembered from playing the game. It wasn't that long ago that I beat Blighttown, so and that's kind of when I stopped playing Dark Souls because it was so hard, and then immediately right after it gets even harder. So just a very cool game. I know a lot more about it from listening to things about it than from actually playing it, but very cool game and a nice little homage to that game. We got a twofer here, starting off with day number 8, which is Toad. I really like this one. This one is one of my favorites, mainly because I love the Frog and Toad books. I think that they're very sweet. I love the friendship that they have, and I love their little outfits. I think they're very cute, and it was feeling very fall. I was getting ready for the fall to start, so it just was the perfect drawing. Next was the one that I was talking about. Day number 9 was Bounce. And I forgot to put quotations on this. That's funny. I did a dodgeball thing. I don't really like this one. I like the pose. I like the way that the motion lines came out on the ball. But like other than that, I think I ruined the background. But oh well. I just was thinking of Dodgeball, the movie. And I love that movie. So I did a little drawing. This is what I was talking about when I was saying some of the drawings that just kind of fill the space. One of the big things, and that was like a focus of this sketchbook. Actually, let me show you this first. I wrote in the first page of this sketchbook that I wanted to practice organic forms, practice solid and hard body forms, and then just kind of consolidate my sketches to focus on getting things done quickly. And, you know, I'm still practicing a lot of these things, but I wanted to do a lot of, like, mech drawing really is what I wanted those solid body forms to be. So I was practicing that here on this spread, and then I kind of left it half done because the bounce illustration bled through. So, I just figured, you know what, I'm not going to do any Inktober stuff on this. I'm just going to sketch for fun. So I did, and I think I really like this purple mech guy. I think this arm is a little bit weird, like the way that it's getting cut off, and then it's like behind. And this one's like so far in front. And then like some of the perspective is a little goofy, but I really like the design of it, and I think it's cool. So, I don't know. You win some, you lose some as far as like actual drawing of mechs goes, but I think it just is fun. And then we get into some more Inktober stuff. There's one on this one, but a couple other little fun drawings on here, and one that I like. Day number 10 was Fortune. This prompt took me a while to think of something, but I really like what I came up with. I'll hold this up just a little bit closer as long as it stays in focus. I just like, there's a lot about this that I like. I like the lines down here. They feel very clean. I like the papers, even though they feel a little bit weird and out of perspective. This, like, the story that this tells of this little fortune teller and his, like, sort of Saruman-esque, like, approach to telling fortunes is very cool. And I don't know, I just like the way it came out. These two are kind of interesting. I was just practicing watercolors because I had done... I think I had done a little bit of watercolor playing around in maybe another sketchbook or something. And I wanted to bring it back and try something here. So I just put down, or maybe this was the first try and that's why it was so rough, but I just wanted to put down some watercolors and then put inks on top of it. But later I learned that it's a little bit easier to put your inks down first and then put your watercolor down. You can start a lot lighter that way, or I just started too dark here, but I did this on one day. I think I actually did it on the 10th. And then I came back much later, like a week later, and added these really, really dark darks. And I really like the way it came out. I think this actually turned out pretty interesting and cool. It kind of looks like a nighttime scene. So I'm really interested in that. And I just think it's pretty cool. Sorry, my phone is now low battery, so I'll try to speed this up. This one is just a little portrait. I think it looks good. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. I'm going to leave this open as a spread so I don't flip around as much. This is the watercolor I was talking about. I just kind of plop down all the inks, plop down all of the watercolors, and it just ends up looking really pretty. So I really like how the path turned out right here in front, I think. And then my phone, I have my phone set to black and white for various reasons, but when I look at the things that I post, it's really helpful when I look at things in black and white because I can see the depth of the values and like the variety of the values, and that this one is really particularly strong in its depth. So I think that just proves to me that like I did something right here, and I've been trying to capture that a little bit more and more every time I try watercolors. So it's pretty cool. I got lucky on that one. Pretty nice. This one was for the word wander. And then here we have spicy on day 12. I did this pot of honey. Ironically, I didn't know that the word was spicy that day, and I had tried this habanero hot honey from Akron Honey for the first time, and then it all kind of just played together, and I did this illustration. I look at this and I think it's a little bit sophomore, but that's okay. I still think it's cool, and it was, a good try at doing some realistic hatching and stuff. I'll just have to practice that. I'm not very good at realism in my hatching and stuff, but that's all right. It's all learning. This was a space filler. I did a little xenomorph because I love aliens. Not a perfect xenomorph by design. I'm not good at remembering those details, but it still is cool. I just love xenomorphs. They're so freaking sweet. They're not scary enough. I think we need to find the new one needs to be very scary, but it's probably not gonna be good. But that's okay. This one might be my favorite. It's at least a tie for my favorite. This one is for Rise. I did this pumpkin man from Over the Garden Wall. I love this. I think that watercolors came out perfect. I think the design, the perspective on the design is very fun. I changed his character a little bit. He usually only has one little like tendril here, but I gave him 4, and I think it looks cool. And then I like the way that this text looks, and I like the way that the clouds don't interfere with it. This one is from a game that I've loved very much and will never beat because I just cannot get past the part that I'm on, called Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I'm sure you've heard of it. I chose this one because it's Castle, and I love Castlevania. And this boss was one of my favorites that I encountered. It's like this, it's not really even a boss. It's like a mini boss, but you go into this cool room that has like all these parallaxing effects, which I kind of tried to emulate here in the design. And you see this sword standing in the middle, and then as soon as you walk into the middle of the room, it just splits up into a million swords, and then it attacks you. And I died so many times. But Ollie, you're ruining my video. I died a lot of times. You're just gonna have to ignore the idiot dog. This is my life. I died a lot of times, but I just think it's very cool. So I copied the room that it's in and the sword, and it's just a good all-around experience. The atmosphere of that game is perfect. So a little Alucard fighting the sword guy in the castle. Oh, and this, all right, there we go. And this was the first time trying my dip pen. So you can see there's like a lot of splashes here. And I think it might have been the second time, but still, like, you'd see a bunch of drips here, and that is part of the process. And I got a little bit like on the sides and stuff. It's okay. I think I'm really proud of how this came out, especially because later on I figured out that the nib that I was using is definitely the harder one to use. So I think I did pretty well for my first time using a pretty difficult nib, but cool. Let's keep going. Halfway, pretty much. Now we're getting into the crappy drawings. These ones I just don't like. Starting with Dagger. I like the ship design. Like, it's okay. It kind of looks like, something that would be in like a Lego version of a cool ship. It's like, I mean, I love Lego, but it just kind of feels a little bit like blocky and chunky and like thrown together. But that's okay. I still think it's cool. But this guy, like, his design's okay, and he's kind of interesting looking. You can see he's like carrying, and he's, got his little knife and stuff. It just is not the perspective and everything, and the way that it cut his legs off. It just doesn't feel. I wish I would have just finished him. I don't know why I didn't just finish him, but oh well. I just don't really like it. And I kind of feel the same way with Angel. I did Angel from X-Men. The wings aren't the same, and I don't know. I could complain about these. The things that I do like about them, I think that the composition on this one is nice. I think that the ship design on that one's really nice. But yeah, I just think, we hit the halfway point, and I definitely was struggling. I was struggling to stay the consistent quality, but that's okay. I think it's okay to have some days that are a little bit simpler, but yeah, it's days 15 and 16. And then we go on to 17. This one, it took me a whole spread to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. I really wish I would have stuck with this design over here. I think this design's really cool. I just didn't know if like I liked the pose of his hand here, but it just looks cool. I mean, Hellboy's just so cool. The reason why I chose to do this is because me and my brother decided we wanted to do a couple the same. So we decided we wanted to do Hellboy for Demon, because he's a demon. And I like some of the sketches here. I really like his face on this one, and I like this whole drawing. So I'm glad I did the drawing. I get to keep it and look at it, but, you know, far from perfect. And then I really like this sketch of his gun because it turned out really good. I just looked at a picture from Pinterest and copied it. But then this drawing just didn't end up as strong as the other ones. I mean, it's cool. The pose is pretty cool, and Hellboy's cool, so it makes it easy. But I just, you know, there's something wrong with it. I'm not sure what it is. Just not cool. I mean, I don't like this leg. I know that for sure. This leg is rough, but there's some other things. Just little nitpicks that it could be better, but it's okay. It's always good to find things that can make you better. If you can't find anything that can make you better, you're not trying hard enough. All right, so now we're getting into sort of the section where I did a lot of drawings outside of Inktober. I just wanted something to be good. So I was working, again, with a dip pen. This one is a dip pen here. Besides, like, I think a few specific lines are like micron or something. But most of it's dip pen. This one is micron because I didn't have time. But this is actually an Inktober drawing for Saddle. This one was, I think it was a Sunday. I don't know that for sure. It might have been a Sunday. Or, no. I don't know. This was a day where I was running behind. I didn't have time to do anything else. So I practiced drawing a horse really quick, and then I kind of put together this quick sketch of this guy, this crossbowman on a horse in a saddle, and then I just inked it up and posted it because, you know, sometimes you kind of have to do that. I'm glad I really only had to do that just this day. And then we're getting into this. This is a character that I'm kind of hoping to do a little graphic novel about in November, maybe, if I can swing it. I was doing some sketches of like what I wanted him to look like, and I thought maybe I would go with this one, but I like this drawing. I just don't think it's good for a graphic novel. But I ended up doing something cool here, and then this kind of evolved into what he looks like right now. Yeah, so this was the day after, but the Inktober drawing for the day after is here, Plump. And this one, no, I remember, this 18th I think is on a Wednesday, because this one, the 19th, was based on a conversation I had with my buddy Will, and we were talking about the prompt the next day, and he's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. We talked about it, and he suggested this, and then he wouldn't stop sending me pictures of raccoons since then, and I don't appreciate it. And Will, since I know you're probably the only person who's ever going to watch this, besides Paige, because I'm going to make her watch it, stop sending me raccoon videos. Then we get to this one, which is another tie from probably one of my favorites, which is Frost. This one I love. The sketch that I did came out so nice, this little thumbnail here. And then I did a close-up of what I wanted the astronaut to look like, including some of the design points. And I love that sketch. And then I did the final drawing here. And this is just one of my favorite drawings. There's some stylistic things I really like the sides of the mountains. There's some things that I've never drawn before, like snow, that I think that just these slight indications are just perfect. I'll have to clean this up in Photoshop at some point and like make a t-shirt out of it or something for myself, because I really like this. I love the ship design that I did, and I love my astronaut and his footsteps and everything. And just like, this is one of my favorite drawings that I've ever made. So I'm very proud of this. It's a good drawing. So that's day 20, only 11 days left. We're getting into the point where I'm really starting to feel a lot better about my drawings. This one I spent a long time on. This must have been a Saturday or something. I spent a long time on this. The word is chains, and I decided to do this little sketch of some chains holding down a big mech. I wanted to do a mech drawing on this day, so I did chains holding down this big mech, and keeping him from doing something. I don't know. He's terrorizing the city or something like that. But I just think it looks cool. It took a really long time to do. There's a lot of like things that I wanted to be right. There's a lot of things I would change, just about like the sizes of things. Like I think that this one is a lot bigger than this one, but other than that, I really like this drawing. Just think it's cool. It's a good drawing. This one is not an Inktober drawing, but I really like it. This is the same guy for the graphic novel that I was kind of hoping to do. Kind of worked out some more of his facial features and stuff here. And then I just love this pose. It's very much the vibe that I want for the thing, where it's just like this guy, all he does is smoke. He doesn't eat, he just smokes. And I just, I don't condone smoking, but this guy, he does. Okay, let's keep going. So this one was the first one that I threw out. This was the first prompt that I just hated my drawing for it. I got vampires on the brain. I decided to do a little vampire. I hate the pose. Not a good drawing. So I redid it later. This was a Sunday. I redid it later at church. And this is a cool thing. I did this pose without reference. I just kind of figured it out. So there's definitely some errors, but I also just kind of, I like it. And I did this with a fountain pen that I couldn't get working until this day. And then I got it flowing nice, and then it worked out for a couple other drawings too that day. And you can see I did some bad sketches. I did a practice sketch. There's a lot of good and bad on this day, but this is all kind of the 22nd. I did a lot of drawing that day, including a little sequential thing of somebody doing a kickflip. And this is actually kind of supposed to be him. It's the same guy. And this is the design for that character for my graphic novel that I wanted to do. And he's kind of just sad. He just drinks coffee and smokes, and he's a sad guy, but it won't be all sad. He'll be happy sometimes. But that's for Scratchy on day 22. And then some extra sketches. And then day 23 was Celestial, and I thought about kind of setting it in the world of Neon Genesis Evangelion and have the sort of angel celestial comment there. Now, I know the angels aren't the Evas, but I just kind of tied it all together with I don't know. It's not perfect. I don't love this drawing. I just think it's got kind of a cool story to it. I like this little dude, and yeah, I don't have much to say about this one. That's okay. This one I have a lot to say about because I love this drawing. It's too small, I will say that. I wish I would have done it bigger, but I love this drawing. I love this sketch. Everything kind of worked out. The reason why I chose to do this is because it had this like shallow slope here, and I just came up with this idea of a person riding a skateboard, and then I thought, oh, I should make it a girl because I haven't drawn any girls this month, and I did, and then yeah, I just think this came out pretty much exactly what I wanted it to look like. So this is super awesome. I kind of thought it would be kind of in the future, but it ended up just kind of being, a city. But I really like it. And then later on, I came back and filled in the top of this page with the Ryu when I was bored, because I love Ryu, and he's the easiest to draw. Yeah, let's keep going. There's a couple good ones. Oh, I forgot to mention, this was another ink drawing. So you can see I spilled here. I just kind of left it. But this was another ink drawing. You can see I'm getting better here at using the dip pen. Oh, ink drawing. Of course it's an ink drawing. It's a dip pen drawing. And this is that same fountain pen. And then you can see here I got my red fountain pen to start working. So I did that on the 27th. But on the 25th, I did another dip pen drawing in blue. This one, I don't think I had any drips on. I think I did the whole thing without getting any serious splotches, which is cool. But I like this one because I think this one has a really nice story. I had to use a lot of reference to figure out how to draw a dragon. Never really drawn a dragon before. Well, that's not true. I just haven't drawn a dragon this well before. So got a little dragon, got some people stealing from the dragon. They're pretty silly looking, but that's okay. This is another one where you can see the eraser from this pencil again, this blue pencil. But I did that on purpose this time because I wanted it to kind of have like a blue hue to it. So nice. And then this was the 26th. I really like this drawing looking back on it. I think that there's a lot of cool like realism to it. And I didn't use any reference for this drawing. I just kind of did it based on, well, actually, the biggest thing is that the biggest reference that I had in my mind was the scene in Prometheus, where like the I can't remember his name. The one doctor, the man doctor, he gets like infected by the aliens and he's got something crawling around in his eye and it's really gross. And he does this move in the mirror and you can see it crawling around. But I didn't draw anything crawling around in his eye because I thought that would be too gross. And I have some close friends and family members who really hate looking at eyes. So I figured I would keep it a little bit more PG. I just put like a little dark spot right here. Maybe be like a stick or something. I don't know, hair. This is a reference to a comic that I did the night before. So on the 26th, I spent 3 hours-ish, 2.5 to 3 hours working on a little Hellboy fan comic that I posted on my Instagram. I don't have it in this book. I did it in a different sketchbook, but it's pretty cool, and I really like the character that I made for it, this enemy character that I made for it. So I drew it for Beast the next morning, and I think it looks really good. Sorry, my other dog's got the zoomies behind me. We're getting close to the end here, and you can see, I think my skills are really picking up as we go. You can see I got a lot more comfortable doing sketches a lot quicker. We're getting to some more of the ones that I really like. This one in particular, I really love this design. This word is sparkle, and I did this sketch without kind of really thinking about anything, and I just really liked it, so I finished it. I just decided that I wasn't going to try to make anything cooler with more storytelling. It's just a good sketch. I'm just going to finish it up. And then I added some watercolor just to make it pop a little bit. And I was doing all the dip pen stuff. I just wanted to bring the watercolors back out and give it a shot. Right here we have day 29, which is massive. Oh, and I'm seeing I forgot to do some lines on here. Oh, well. Massive, I thought that I would do this massive, like, I don't know, futuristic, like, hauler, space hauler or something like that. I wish that I would have had more time on this day to do, like, I don't know, more details in the, I guess, hangar. But I just didn't have any time, and this already took a long time. I think this took like an hour and a half or something like that. So, you know, hour and a half isn't really that long in the scheme of things, but you know, it's a long time when I'm doing every sketch first thing in the morning. So this one is massive. I love this little call out here, this little detail of this guy who's welding in the corner or zipping. I don't really know what he's doing. He's like a future welder or something like that. But he's missing his shoulder. I forgot to draw the line for his shoulder. Oh, well. Okay, that's massive. We're getting to the last couple. This was a spread that I did while I was kind of just like taking a break, trying to figure out what I wanted to do for this one. And I didn't really like what it was sitting there as, so I finished the sketches up with some ink and then painted over them. And like, I'm not super proud of it. I just think that it was worth it for me to kind of finish it, because now I at least can see what the vision was. I don't know. I don't love most of these drawings. I think there's a lot of problems because I kind of did them. I did them all without reference. They were all just kind of faces for faces' sake because it's my comfort drawing thing. But like they're weak in some senses, but they're strong in the sense that I finished them, and I'm just happy that I finished them. So yeah, and there's some things that I tried that I was happy that I tried. Then I did finish Rush. This is another one of those fountain pens that I have that I really like. This red one, I used it for Flash because he's red. And there's some cool line work here. I really like how his hands and his legs are moving really fast. This pose looks really good when you look at it from further away too. So I don't know. I'm happy with this. It's not like my best drawing, but I'm happy with it. I don't know if I got the costume right either. I just kind of wung it. Who knows? And then we're at today's drawing, which is Todoroki from My Hero Academia. I really like this drawing. I'm very proud of it. I think that the watercolor turned out very vibrant, which is nice because usually I think my watercolors have turned out a little bit pale. Yeah, I'm very proud of this. I'm proud that I got every day done. I'm really happy with the whole experience. There's definitely things that I wish I could redo right now, but none to the point where I feel disappointed in myself. And the thing that I'm the most proud of is the routine that I got into. I definitely feel like this was the healthiest drawing routine I've ever had, where I didn't feel burnt out at all, but I felt very much just like I wanted to get up and draw every day. And I'm kind of excited to see, you know, what else comes from it. I have lots of plans of things that I want to do. I'm not going to make any promises because I know that that really is just a recipe for failure for me, just with my brain and things. But yeah, I'm very proud of this year. I'm glad that I got it all done. You know, I guess I complained a lot about the prompts during the thing, but looking back, you know, they gave me some really unique inspiration. So I'm grateful that Inktober does what they do, and I'm thankful to them for kind of coming up with all the ideas for me. And yeah, I'm really happy that I stuck through it and worked really hard during this month. And you know, I'm excited to see what comes from it. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Yeah, see you soon, maybe.